Shall know. Give me a few seconds. Okay? Give me a minute. I'll be with you. Oh, I'm live. Hi, my name is Valzubiriagenda. I am an artist and writer, and this is for hedge funds and most especially pension funds, especially because you might be in need of a lot of money, and I've been reading a lot of articles about you. I'm old, okay. 1990s, I was working for pension adjuster, and so my job was my designation was assistant actuary, and I adjusted pension. That's what we call it. I adjusted. Well, I did the math for refunds, disabilities, death benefits, and retirement. So I know what I'm talking about, right? Now, I was referred to. I was pursuing a math degree, and then I was friends with the treasurer, the elected official. So I know what about. I know what I'm talking about. And he was really proud of his accomplishment, and he said he made decisions, gave the money to the banks and real estate and hedge funds, and the return was good. Unfortunately, he had problems with his liver, and he was in his 70s, and I was young. Whatever my age is right now, subtract 25 years. Okay, so don't do that math, okay? He said, so every once in a while, I'd come over and explain to him the idea, and he said, that's really good, that's really good. You can add this to it, and you can add this to it. And he said, this might work. The thing is, I wasn't ready, and he said, whatever this idea was of mine, it can be duplicated by other people, so keep it a secret. And then he passed away because he had problems with his liver, and he was, he was at that age of 70s, more or less. Okay, so I'm explaining this to you 25 years later, and if you can imagine, 25 years ago, your funds were okay, or not as bad as now, right? And so here's my idea. Okay. As an artist, I can make an announcement of my scarcity. And if you think about Picasso actually made like 36,000 works in his lifetime. But this is the 21st century, and we've seen a lot of crashes, economic crashes, economic bubbles. So we're a very impatient generation, and this is the 21st century. I don't necessarily see myself as making art all the way to my death. I want to do something else. Okay, I want to make movies, stuff like that. And so instead of like being like Picasso and the 20th century artists who would make art all the way to their deaths, I'm proposing that I only want to make 6,500 works, and this is for all investors. And just imagine this: if this trends, and this is an idea that's for everybody, so it might go worldwide, right? It might become an art movement, and this might be the next economic bubble, quote unquote. And so like overpriced stocks and hedge funds and whatever, and like whatever you have been investing in, add art into the mix, but use the one that uses the hashtag valzubiriagenda, okay? And this is what it is. We make an announcement of scarcity. So in my case, let's say I want to make 6,500. I can still adjust it. I reserve the right to do that. And then we announce prices. By announcing price, everyone all over the world doesn't necessarily have to speculate on how much it's going to be in the future, because the prices are announced. And so let's say I have my present price here, and then my future prices, right? And because everyone gets involved, well, I would not expect you as a big institution to get involved the same way as the smaller investors and retail investors would get into. But here's the thing. Any artist can do this, so there's 250 works that will be priced at $50,000 each, okay? And then there's, after 250, we move on to the 100. So it's predictable. My art is still unique, right? But my prices can be predictable so that you as an investor can join in, right? So it's 250 for the next 100,000, 250 for the next 200. And art's not regulated, it's worldwide and it's portable. You can, if those retail investors I'm talking about, they can resell the works as the higher prices get reached to the next investor, next investor, next investor, right? Okay, so we start with 50, and then it keeps going up, and it's once again, art's not regulated, so we can use an exponential increase. So from 50 to 100, 200, 400, 800, 1.6, 3.2, 6.4, 12.8, 25.6, 51.2. Now with art, you can buy art for $1 and then resell it for $1 million. Okay? Unlike real estate, where you buy real estate for $150,000 and then you resell it for $250,000 after renovations, and no more than that, because the neighbors would ask, why would you sell a house for $100 million if it's only worth $250,000, right? But with art, if you're successful, you can buy art for $1 and sell it for $100 million, and everyone's gonna praise you. It's in the nature of art to become expensive, okay? And I'm telling you to, well, I'm not telling you, I'm just expressing myself, okay? I'm not commanding you to do anything. Here's the thing. If everyone gangs up on the same artist, in this case, somebody like me or myself, right, then the higher price get reached as soon as possible. And so here's the thing. When you see a movement, right, even your financial institution that you're going to be borrowing money from would see a movement as well, right? It's a trend. So it doesn't need to have, you don't need to see a valuation or an exact street value of 51.2 to be able to use that, okay? Because you have magical accountants who work for you, and you have magical financial institutions. So here's my suggestion. What if you got 200 pieces of art from an artist? Now those 200 pieces won't immediately be made, right? So what you're going to be getting are paperwork, So there are art commissions. So you have art receivables, okay? So you have 200 paperworks, and multiply that by the highest valuation that's been announced, okay? And that's $51.2 million per art piece. Multiply that by 200, get your pen and paper and calculator. You'll get $10,240 million, okay? For the price of $10 million. So if this trends, you can immediately just head over to your financial institution and they can decide, or you guys can decide, if you can borrow all that money or you can borrow half. Meanwhile, here's the thing. If other people hear about this, and other pension funds hear about this, and you made the move, they're gonna follow suit, okay? Why? Because it makes sense, right? It makes sense to follow suit. It's human behavior in this space. Okay, we're playing with human behavior. Okay, so now here's the thing. The suggestion for you is to get 200, right? But if your financial institution only wants to evaluate it at 12.8, then by all means get 800, and then multiply that by 12.8. It's still gonna amount to $10 billion, right? If my math is right. Okay, anyway, it's not right. Okay, here's something else. Once the individual investors move up the price to more and more, and to reach all this, it's easy for me or somebody like me to make an announcement of the next price. And obviously we're all going to be, comfortable with our art and with our earnings. I can tell you that I am looking at pricing the next iteration. The next iteration is going to be like 200 million. Okay. Well, our money might depreciate, right? We don't know, we're in a bad economic situation right now. And my point is, these numbers, I think when people want to say, when people say they want to become millionaires nowadays, they're not talking about $1 million, right? Because that $1 million could be worth $100,000, right? So what I'm saying is, the 200 million here is most probably going to work. It might happen in the future. I just can't make any, I'm just obviously not guaranteeing anything. Okay, these things can change, and even I can make a decision to, like even go from, a certain price here and just jump over to here or here. That's my prerogative, but this is safe enough for me. And after all my my analysis of this situation, I think it can work. Okay, so that's how you can make $10 billion. Now, if you need to make 40, then by all means get 800 at this point, at this price, because that's the current asking price, and evaluate it at this price. See? So that's how you can do that. What else can I tell you? That's basically it. Okay, well, as you can see here, right? Just remember, this can happen, a snowball effect. As more people join in, more and more people are going to join in. Even more. So this is kind of like a quiet before the storm. And if you're seeing this right now, and this works some months later, then congratulate yourself if you were able to stake your claim at the low price. Okay. What else can I tell you? Okay, well, just to let you know, the retail investors, they're also going to be holding the contracts. And so there's going to be trading of contracts even before the delivery of the art. I make dolls, and my plan is to make a standardized size of my dioramas, which would include dolls and the backdrops. And I want to include gemstones and precious metal like gold, silver, platinum, palladium. And I actually see myself as, the Fabergé egg of the 21st century. You can call me crazy now, but if it works, then, you can call me the Don Quixote of the 21st century for coming up with this idea. But once again, let's go back to my friend who's passed on. He said this might work, and he was going to share it with his contacts, except that he passed away too soon, and my art evolved. My decision to make dolls was in 2009, and then I started writing my books in 1998. Even before that, I was writing a column about the arts for a monthly newspaper here in Chicago. It was a free community paper. That was good. That was good for me. It was like a baptism of fire. And oh, let me show you my books. So here's the thing. I'm also, this is the hashtag valzubiriagenda, right? So I'm just showing you the numbers. And besides the numbers, I'm also encouraging, we have to level up. We have to set the bar higher than just making a simple announcement of pricing and scarcity. So my suggestion is to get into writing. And when you write books, because books are permanent. Okay. So when you invest in me, for example, and I have books that can last 50 to 100 years, see, or maybe 500 years. So get into somebody who's producing books, right? And the best books that an artist can produce would be memoirs, biographies, art books, and art catalogs. Okay. So in my case, I am claiming to be the current living contemporary artist who has personally written the most memoirs that have the perspective of a visual artist in the world. I have 5 books right now, and so they're on Amazon. and I will release 5 more in 3 years, over 3 years, and then I'll keep writing. So as you can see, I'm working for you even after the sale. See, my value hopefully will keep going up, not only because of people working to get the price up, but because I'm creative enough to be writing about my art. And I encourage everyone else to do that. So it's your money. You require somebody who's leveling up, this way, not just in terms of the announcement of pricing, because everyone else is gonna be expecting, what I'm doing to be something that they're doing as well, right? So let me show you my books. So I told you I have 5 books now, and here they are. So that's Hocus Pocus Lady. Oops, sorry. Wait. So there's one, and there's now The Man, the musical. Now this has been noticed by some Hollywood companies, and I wanna get on stage. Okay, so I hope it goes on stage. Now that's another thing. We keep doing other things, right? That enhances the collectability of our works. Now there's Wonder, and there is 1 Hour Mentors, and valzubiriagenda. Now this is my 5th book, my latest book. I wrote it with Silverio Perez, and these are 5 books from my Memoirs of an Artist series, which is going to keep increasing. Hopefully within 3 years I will have 10. Okay, and so I'm really serious about this, and I would encourage other people to do the same thing. Write your memoirs. Write your catalogs, produce your catalogs, your art books, your biographies, and come up with your scarcity and your prices. And hopefully this works. Hopefully it becomes an art movement that everyone all over the world gets into. And everyone, once again, well, obviously everyone's going to be using my name, right? Because I call it the #valzubiriagenda. Right there. So thanks for listening, and thanks for watching, and make sure if you have any questions, you can get me on Facebook, use Messenger, and well, let me look for that. I printed that somewhere. Okay, here's my information, so you can ask me questions. That's my Facebook Messenger, just Valzubiri, and then this my email address, valzubiri@gmail.com. I don't necessarily check my email every day, but if you messenger me on Facebook, I will answer immediately. And if you want to make reservations, I get to talk to you. Okay. Now this is for everybody all over the world, right? So if anyone who has a question and you want to get into this, feel free to messenger me, right? Use valzubiriagenda, Valzubiri on Messenger. I would do that before I do mail, because I don't like checking my email every day. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you soon. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell button so that if I go online and go live stream, you'll at least be able to catch me. My computer is kind of slow right now, and I can't seem to get on the live chat. So, and I'm still just increasing my membership and my viewership. So.